Miss Blessing Yamkapa is an actor, a voice artist, a Kindle lady.
My name is Stephen Tayengwa Chigorimba. I wear a lot of hats, but today I'm wearing my hat as a theater person, as an actor. I started theater when I was a little boy of 7.
Nash Pepo is an artist. I'm married. I have 6 kids. Yeah, I love my job. Yeah, that's all I can say about myself.
Chiratidzo Chedenga. I think it was too long to be on the paper, so now it's just Ratizo. And then if you come back to my colleagues, you hear them call me, most of them, Eunice. Okay. So yeah, Eunice Ratizo Tao. Okay, Rati. Okay, that's fine. I'm a theatre actress, both theatre and film, and I'm also a director. And I joined the arts industry. It's been more than 15 years now.
Theatre practitioner. I've been doing theatre for the past 25 years now, and apart from theatre, I also do film and radio programming. Currently, I'm the founding director of Patsime Radio Entertainment Trust, and Patsime is a theatre for development organization that uses theatre for development communication.
My name is Eddington Atisongwe. Age around 30s.
Mr. Masenda, initially I'm known for being the founder of Together as One, which started as a community theatre organization, and that's way back in 1992, 23 October 1992 at Silver Jennings Hall in Highfield. And the organization transformed to register as a local civil society organization, which is a PVO status under the Ministry of Labour and Social Welfare. And now I'm in charge of Zimbabwe Association of Theatre for Children and Young People as the National Director, which is termed Asitage Zimbabwe and IATA. These are 2 international network associations which the Asitage aspect promotes theatre for children and young people as well as young audience. And the IATA is International Amateur Theatre, which is based in Brussels. And then what IATA concentrate on people who have got interest in creative arts like theatre, music, dance, but they are not full-time. They could be engineers, medical doctors, but all the same they will have interest into performing arts activities. So they become amateur practitioners.
I grew up in Bulawayo, and then I decided to come to Harare. And when I came to Harare, there were no jobs, there was nothing for me. And then my friend invited me to attend one of the rehearsals that they had at the University of Zimbabwe. That's how the whole rehearsal, in the rehearsal room, I said, wow, this is it. I think I was born an entertainer. It was something that was already in me, but then maybe I didn't just have the platforms to showcase my talent. Yes. But then in the primary school, I was very well known for drama acting. Yeah, so I then decided to join Together as One in Highfields. That's how I got into it. And then 6 years down the line, I decided to try my hand in directing.
Okay.
And the first production that I directed then got me an award for Best Director.
Wow.
Yeah. From then, I've been doing both acting and directing. Acting and directing.
Yeah, so myself and Patrick Tembo and some other guys from Highfield Too High, the likes of Olivia, Ellen, Audience, Juliet, and some other guys from St. Peter's, Mukai, and Highfield I1 as well. Okay. Yeah, we came together and formed our group, Shooting Stars Theatre Production. And we started doing shows. Well, back then, those days, we wouldn't get paid, but we would have fun to just go and perform. I got a call from Haifa. That was 2008. That's when I ventured professionally into theatre. Well, when I did a play called Silent Words, which was directed by the late Kudzai Chimbaira. May her soul rest in peace.
Okay.
She's the one who molded me to be a theatre practitioner, to be where I am today. That was Kudzi. Well, she worked with me Yeah, for about 2 to 3 years after we did Silent Words. And then after that, I went on to join Patsime Trust, where Jason and Nesh are at. And I was at Patsime from 2009 up to 2011. While I was at Patsime again, that's when I did a diploma in performing arts with the help of Chipawa and MSU, but the late Stephen Chifuni said, again, may his soul rest in peace.
I come from a family of performers, both my father's side, my mother's side. They are performers. So that when I was 7 years old, I was asked to play a sketch as Goliath Kuchech.
Okay.
Those days, there were not many tall people. So at 7, I played Goliath Kuchech. And that's my earliest recollection of actual acting, right? And it moved on. I did lots of plays when I was at Highfield Secondary School. I was in plays. We did Macbeth, those days where we used to do Shakespearean theater. I continued with theater with people like Walter Mparutsa, the late Walter Mparutsa, Dominic Canaventi, and a number of other people that we used to act with. Kuchkoro, and after school. When I was working, I started a theater group. We started a theater group with a number of guys, John Indy, Iwana Walter Mparutsa, Kumbare. It's now called Mbare. Moved on. I joined what was called Sundown Theatre in Harare, in Salisbury. It was Salisbury at that time, when Africans were supposed to be out of town at 5 p.m. By 6 p.m. you'll be arrested if you're in Salisbury after that. But I joined Sundown Theatre. Partly it was a nice way of being in town after hours, because we used to have a piece of paper, from Reps Theatre. You're in Salisbury, Reps.
The challenges that we faced as artists, theatre practitioners in our industry is that of failure in recognition that a theatre practitioner also has bills to foot, bills to pay, mouths or a mouth to feed. Hence, they're challenged by just coming to do their best, deliver a quality work for nothing sometimes, or something beyond what they deserve.
Yeah, we're organizing theater to do the work and the practice as business, to enterprise the creative arts sector. Most people, they are more into theater for hobby, but distancing themselves from the business aspect. So the challenge is to convince people that you can live out of theater, you can survive in the sector of theater using theater or music and dance. In most cases, people, they prefer to do theater and other things. But in my case, I've been surviving the rest of my life. I'm over half a century years old now, and I've been glued into theater since 1990, and this has been the business. And there are very few people who can purport or who can believe to survive out of the environment of creative arts. So the challenges include, for Zimbabwean perspective, there is a gap to address in line with audience building. Theater, dance, music, the business prosper well with audience. So the theater aspect, we have limited space. There are very few theater or space to bring performances. At the same time, the Zimbabweans, they don't bring themselves towards to audience to support the creative sector. Most of the productions are commissioned. In other words, there are certain organizations who want to drive their mission using theater, and you have organized audience, which is not a paid up audience. So it's a challenge. The other thing is the space to do our work. You see, Together as One has been here at the local clinic since 2005, but it's not the right place. We're supposed to fall under the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Arts and Recreation, as well as the seat of Harare, Department of Social Services. But the ministries and even the local authorities, they don't take chances to create space for creative arts like theater. No venues, no space for offices and the like, which is a gap to address.
Challenges that we face as artists is one, we don't have much support, especially when it comes to financially. So that's one big challenge. And and you are someone who and all, but sometimes you won't be what you were supposed to be like. You see, it's like that's the biggest challenge. And also, one other challenge is that as an actor, as an artist, people don't really take you serious. For example, let's say I'm at a public place and I just make one mistake. People start talking about tanga, wamona vanhu drama chichivatanga. So your life, you just have to be careful. Pane zvese zvaunenge uchita every time. Zvakafanana nekuti uri kufamba pane madhaka usikuda kutsvedza. That's the thing. That's our life. It's a big challenge. Yeah, and nyaya yekunzi hanzi ma-artist vanhu vasina unhu and all. So that challenge mostly ones affected the female artists. Yekuti the moment yanororwa, probably it's either the husband kana kuti maparents acho vanobva kuti siyana nezvekuacta, siyana nezveart because hazvina unhu. So as long as munhu ane talent yake anozopedzera kutosiyana netalent yake just because people are saying you mustn't do that.
Things have changed a bit. When we started, it was one of the challenges was of male dominance. Yeah. We couldn't sell through because of that. But to some extent, I don't think I can mention that as a challenge now, because I've had great support from males, from men. But then the biggest challenge that I've been facing of late is of women pulling me down.
Zimbabweans are natural actors. And we enjoy acting. And acting is about day-to-day just being put on stage or in film, like I now do, right? So we need to have in this country serious theater supporting systems. That's very important, so that a person can make a livelihood out of theater, knowing that when I go on stage and perform, like stage behind me, at the end of it, I'll get paid.
You see, there are a lot of high expectations, but it is my hope that one day these expectations will be met. We are looking at issues to do with support from the government, because without support from the government, it means that theatre for us is dead. And it does not necessarily mean that we're just looking for financial support, but it could be support in terms of resource mobilization and support in terms of awareness around theatre. So it is my hope as we look at the World Theatre Day that governments come on board and start supporting the arts.
I wouldn't say as a theatre practitioner I faced so many challenges. Well, the challenges are here and there. You really know the situation that we are in this country, that sometimes you plan to go and have a show, but then when reaching at that hall or at that place that you want to perform, you find out depending on my regulations but clearance already. But those are the challenges, and also not that much in theatre. Well, film don't have much challenges, but in theatre, it's not that much. Yeah.
The COVID-19 pandemic has really affected the theatre industry on a large extent. Since it's a practice that needs live audience, people to gather, watch. So these are the things which were being forbidden. So it has seen the theatre practitioners being locked in their jobs. They couldn't come and perform and with a live audience. So it has been a challenge.
We used to have the live performances where we have physical audience and the like, but we are now going visual. We'll be having almost all activities on Zoom. So we are encouraging our members, because ACIDEG is a member-driven organization, which is visible in 10 provinces and in their districts. So we have just sensitized that, well, considering the situation that we are going through, we have minimized the audience and limited the physical participation. We are trying to buy in the idea of going virtual, try to sell our work through Zoom platforms. And then it is our trend, it is our usual work that every year we have commemorative days like World Theatre Day, World Dance Day. But it is coincident that March is the month that customized to build up to a performance week, which starts with ACIDEG World Theatre Day for Children and Young People, followed by the Spoken Word Day, the Poetry Day, World Poetry Day, and then the Dance Day comes in. Then we have World Theatre Day, which is 27th of March every year. So these activities are lined up, but it's very unusual just because we are doing this under a condition which has got some restrictions.
We cannot work without people. So, because of gatherings, because of COVID, they didn't allow more gatherings. So yeah, it is affected. And as Patsime, we just don't run the theatre only. We also have other programs where we go to workplaces, where we go to schools. So you find kuti pakaita lockdown due to COVID, all those programs dzakabva. You see, Saka, it has really affected us big time, but I think we are getting there because at least here the lockdown is gone. We hope kuti it will stay like this and continue with our work.
When we got into the lockdown, that means that was the end of everything. We had to put everything on hold because theatre is not like film, where you can start screening your films and people watch in the comfort zones of their homes.
Exactly.
You see, theatre now involves audience. You can't
Okay.
perform for the air, you can't perform for the wind. You have
You
to
need
perform for the
audience.
audience. You need audience for you to perform. Beginning of the year, January, February, things will be a bit, there will be it will be just quiet, and then there will be some performances from early March going onwards. Now the lockdown started in March. That means January, February, we had nothing. We were waiting for March as usual. And then when March came, then the lockdown also came. And that means that was it. And we had to just put on hold everything that we had. We did have some productions that we had planned to be performing throughout the whole year. But now we had to put them on the shelf because we couldn't perform. We couldn't do anything. And that means there was no money for us.
Really bad. In fact, it's been a year now because I think the shutdown was introduced in March. So the past year has been really bad because we rely on face-to-face interaction with audiences. And if audiences are not there, we cannot play. We cannot do what we love to do. We cannot perform. So it's been difficult. We then resorted to do online performances. And it is something that we had not been doing all this time. And so just from the point of wanting to film your productions, to want to film them for online audiences and to want to garner support from an online audience, it has really, really been difficult. So we have been surviving on tight budgets. We've been surviving on really hard times.
Theatre is a contact occupation. When people need to meet, congregate in theatres, they must travel. And when we've got lockdowns, we cannot do that. So we've had a real big setback, theatrically speaking, because people cannot travel, people cannot congregate.
As you know that we depend on audience That's how we survive as theater practitioners. Because if we don't have paying audience, we can't survive. So the pandemic, yeah, really, it was very, 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 very big challenge to us. But well, thanks to internet, wow, and we were able to record some of the plays that I did at Mtambo International Theatre Festival by Lloyd Nikadzino and his team that was held this year, and we managed to do quite a number of plays, and it was posted on their pages, and everyone watched, and they really liked our play that I did. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, we have been affected. The government purported to bring in COVID relief funds, which could not come as regular. And at the same time, very few organizations benefited from COVID-19. And it is our wish, if the government wishes to adjourn activities of performing arts, the next thing that we would prefer is that government should have a continued package to relieve the artists, because if you are not performing, if you are not taking our work to the audience, we will always be suffering. Just imagine if you are a full-time artist, you are barred from your usual activities, and you cannot have revenue for your survival because you've got families, we've got life, we've got utilities and bills to pay. So without ongoing performances and getting revenue, it also means our life is in jeopardy.
In acting, I have 3 awards, and I also have an award in directing.
I'm an award winner for 24-hour theater challenge, and I'm also a NAMA nominee. And I'm also a NAMA nominee for film and television. For the, I know most people want to hear me saying Bowden from China.
I've been very fortunate. When I was doing theater, I received quite a number of accolades as best actor, like I was telling you, on Kongi's Harvest, Wale Shoinka's Kongi's Harvest, 1970, that was 74, I think. I got best actor. Then there are other productions that we've done. I've also been able to introduce a number of people to the stage.
Let's support theatre. Let's love it. Theatre helps lighten up people's. It brings the balance. It helps talk about so-called taboo issues, and brings solutions to many of the challenges that we think cannot be resolved. So theatre is the best place to be, especially families. All the ages are welcome to support and learn from theatre as we continue to evolve in this global village.
Yeah, we have pushed our level to bring theater at a level of listenership. The gatekeepers or the lawmakers have pushed it to an extent that visual and performing arts is now taken care from primary to the level of university. So my encouragement is that most of the students from universities, they venture into creative arts because they would have failed to pair their effort to come up with commercials or sciences, and they will end up being pushed to the arts. But it is not by hope. We want people to create an environment of growing into theater, and then we encourage to build up to our audience. Like for us, there's a slogan that take a child to theater now. When we have many children being groomed into theater and music and dance platforms, we will have our audience growing, because children could not go themselves to the venues. They are obviously accompanied by families. So we have families and immediate kids and the like. And these kids growing in the sector, they also take it up to inherit to their kids as well. So we have a groomed audience for the business of creative arts.
It boils down from issues to do with just getting an audience to come to the theatre. There's need for an awareness or awareness raising for audiences to understand that theatre is a business for us, and as such as it is a business, it means that we need audiences to survive. But as we need audiences to survive, we also need corporate sponsorship. We also need support from the government to get us continuing with what we love and what we do best.
Thank God for the World Theatre Day, and I think this is the time for the resuscitation of the theatre industry, what I would call a revamp of the industry, whereby the theatre industry should come back into play where as it was back in the old days, that it used to be a vehicle for change, being able to impact the communities positively.
People are not really gathering, but I would expect people to showcase their talents, have festivals all over the country, all over the world, have festivals. People showcase their talent, especially the theatre practitioners. They should have these spaces. There are no showcase and my talent. People support them. And the other thing, when we're talking about this World Theatre Day, people should really respect this day, especially our audience, so that we cannot just showcase our stuff personal audience, you see. Saka we also need to invite people, artists, artists. Yeah, because we really need to showcase our talent to other people so that they appreciate us.
I had something that we had prepared for World Theatre Day. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to do it because of funds. I don't have enough funds. I'm working with some kids living in the streets, and we've been rehearsing, and we had something for the people. But unfortunately, I don't think we are going to proceed with that because of funds.
Driven by passion, enjoy what you are, because if you are a theatre practitioner, that's who you are. So you will be driven by passion, love what you do, and you will find happiness as well. Basically, that's what I can tell them.
Wow.
And also maybe just to add that work hard, be humble, stay kind.
I said, sometimes zvinoita kuti tive tinoshorwa sometimes vanhu vanofamba nebasa ravo handitya, like you find kuti kana munhu achiri kutanga pese panenge ari mustreet akangoita mafanizi akapfeka zvimwe zvaya zvekuti vanhu vanenge vachingomuseka and all. So my advice to people like that is that let's just be professional. Ndo chinhu chinonetsa pamaartist. Maartist haadi kuva professional. Vanofunga kuti art is just a job yekuti washaya zvekuita. The other advice ndoda kupa ma-upcoming artists, make sure you have the talent. Don't just think you can wake up one day and become an artist. It has to come from within you. You have to have the passion. Just like tikada kutarisa vamwe vanhu vanoita mabasa avo anokoshesa basa rake zvisingaite, handiti hatombodu kana kutomboshorwa kunzi ndidriver anokoshesa basa chinomukana mahwindi pape vanokoshesa basa ravo enda vanyari navo, handiti. So the same thing nema-artists. Please, let's be professional. Please, let's just make sure that we have the talent and don't just wake up and think you can be an artist.
We have always discussed about this topic, and my advice to the upcoming theatre artist would be stand your ground. Don't let these producers manipulate you, because there's a lot of manipulation that happens in the arts industry, and especially the girl child. Mm-hmm. They'll always take advantage. Exactly. If you seem to be like you are blind, they will always take advantage. And we've been talking about this over and over again. Mm-hmm. But these young, especially girls, when you try and share with them your experience, they'll rush to say, "Aiwa, nini mapera saka." There's nothing that you can tell about us. We are also adults. We can still decide what we want to do. But then we'll be trying to share with them the experiences, the journey that we've walked. advice would be, if you're learn to use your talent, learn to rely on your talent. Don't just say, I've been given a role. You know, the problem is that they lack confidence. And the moment you lack confidence, you then find for you to strike through.
In our country, Zimbabwe currently, where the economy is not really looking that good. I mean, if you compare to other countries like South Africa, which is, just across the Limpopo, the government is supporting them very well, and audiences are also supporting them and appreciating the arts. So, for a young person in Zimbabwe who wants to venture into theatre, what I would advise them is that you need to learn the art. Talent alone will not take you anywhere, and also there's also need to be persistent and persevere. One day you will make it.
But if you, as a person, has that passion for what you want to do in life, what you want to achieve in life, you can do it. If you have a goal, if you want to do it, yeah, you can. Because I tell you, for me, it wasn't easy for me to be where I am today. Because in our family, there are engineers, teachers, very educated brothers and sisters of mine. But when I say to my dad, I want to do this, but for me, it was passion.
Yes.
That drove me to where I am today. The purpose I wouldn't be here. So for you to become what you want to do, it's all about passion. You have passion, but you have fun after it. I'm enjoying myself.
The arts, unlike many other professions, teaching, the country can only take so many teachers, right? Doctors, same thing. But the arts is an open field. There is nothing like no jobs. You can't put in no jobs. The person comes and they can say, I can act. What part can I cast you in? That's the question. The arts is a big employer. So anyone who feels that you're artistic, most of us are artistic, pursue that career. Whether as an actor, actress, director, you want to pursue it, because you can never run out of a job. You never be out of employment.
Well, yeah, I want to say Happy World Theatre Day to everyone, especially the theatre practitioners who I've worked with and who I haven't worked with, because I believe, Kuti, the stage is the home. I want to say Happy World Theatre Day, and let's enjoy and let's celebrate as theatre practitioners.
Well, I want to say please support us. We need you. For us to survive as a community of theatre practitioners, we need you. We need the audience. So the theatre is going to be opening soon. Theatres are going to be opening soon. Theatre spaces are opening soon. So please come to the theatre and enjoy theatre.